Thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video and supporting the channel. Hi everyone, today we're going to talk about how to declutter your home and also keep it clutter-free afterwards as well. I'm going to share 30 do's and don'ts with you that are going to be helpful no matter what stage of decluttering that you're currently in. And these are some of the most important things I've learned after doing a lot of decluttering myself. So feel free to join me and grab yourself something nice to drink if you want, and let's begin. This is dangerous, I put way too much tea in here. I'm gonna set it down for a while. Welcome back everyone, and if you're new here, this is a place where you can get tips and inspiration for living a simpler, happier and calmer life. So feel free to subscribe if you'd like to see more from me. And this video is part of my do's and don'ts series. So far I've done self-care, I've done minimalism in like a broader sense, so not just decluttering. And I will leave the link to the playlist in the description box below, so feel free to check out the do's and don'ts series. Do pay attention to why you're getting rid of things. Decluttering can be a really great lesson if you are open to learning from why you're getting rid of things. And this is a really good way to learn more about yourself and also what you want out of your things and your home and your life, as well as trying to avoid making similar purchases in the future if they're just going to be a waste of money and resources. There were many things I've bought in the past that I seriously thought I would use a lot and then ended up decluttering later. So this can be a really good learning experience for us to become more conscious as consumers. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Decluttering can be very overwhelming if you basically just start pulling out all of your stuff and dumping it in a big pile on the floor. You could not maybe have enough time or energy to finish going through all of the items, and you will be left with a huge mess basically. So do it step by step, maybe one cupboard or one drawer even, or one shelf. It really helps if you can do it by category to see everything that you own of the same category together. So for example, all of your shoes, even if they're stored in separate places in your home. But try to keep it realistic and don't bite off more than you can chew. Do try to declutter responsibly. I think just based on the comments that I often get that most of you probably already do this, so I'm gonna keep it short. But try to give the items that you're decluttering a second life if they are still in good condition. That's very important. So also divide them up into piles immediately. So don't just say, I'm gonna get rid of these, but divide them up immediately. Sell, give away, donate, and then recycle or toss. Don't keep uncomfortable things you already own. Being frugal is a nice thing, but if something is just completely worn out or uncomfortable, then feel free to replace it or upgrade it. For example, for us, we kept our old worn out couch for way too long. It was very uncomfortable. You could feel it poking into your butt when you sat on it. Same with our old bed. If something has just served its purpose or it's completely worn out, then don't feel like you have to hold on to it anyway if you are able to replace it. Do create a maybe box. A classic tip, but a very good one. Keep the items that you are unsure about in a box. Store the box somewhere in your home for a couple of months and then later go back to it and see if you've missed any of these items. If not, then that's a great indication that you will probably be okay if you declutter them and get them out of your home. Don't feel guilty about getting rid of things. Decluttering guilt is very common and it's not necessary. So what you can do is take that guilty feeling and turn it into something positive, which is a learning experience. Because if you're learning from it, then there's no need for you to continue to feel guilty and have this like nagging, annoying feeling happening. Do take everything out first. For the area that you're working on today, so don't do this for your entire house, but let's say you're decluttering your clothes, then actually get all of them out because you need to see how many of them you have to really be able to judge each individual item. So don't leave the items that you are already sure about that you want to keep in there. Actually take all of them out, go through the pile by holding each item in your hands one by one, because you will be surprised. Don't overthink where to start. If you're like me, then you might have trouble just starting with your decluttering unless you have like a 12-step plan in your head or something like that. And it really doesn't matter that much where you begin. Beginning is the most important thing. It's much more important than having all of the steps worked out in your head. And yes, it does help if you have a bit of a plan, but just start somewhere, anywhere in your home and see what happens. Do remember that 5 minutes matter. You can do a lot of decluttering or cleaning in 5 minutes, especially if you do it regularly. So you don't have to have a whole weekend off, for example. You can just do little bits here and there because they really add up, and they might even lead to a couple of more minutes and then a couple of more minutes. Don't feel the need to keep up with the latest trends. This goes for everything: clothing, home decor, styling, but also home organizing even. It's okay to do it your own way. And if you don't have to follow all of the trends, this will help you to keep your home clutter-free afterwards as well. Do declutter duplicate pictures. Oftentimes we will have basically the same picture 5 times. So they're all of you standing in front of a building, but they're each slightly different. And if you want to be able to really enjoy your photos later, then it really helps if you immediately just choose the best one, just one, and keep that one and get rid of the rest. Don't expect your first declutter to be your last and only declutter. If you do this, it might lead to feelings of disappointment because you will probably not do it all at once, and decluttering is kind of like an ongoing thing. I still do it about 2-3 times a year, only now it takes me about an hour to go through my entire house because I've done it so many times. But know that you will probably repeat those declutters for a while afterwards because things are always changing, and you might feel ready to let go of a certain item the second time or the third time instead of the first time. Do know your reason for why you want to declutter your home and how you want your home to look and feel when you're done, because having this clear for yourself can really be a great motivator. It can help you make the tougher decisions because you know what you're doing it for. Don't be impatient with yourself or frustrated with the process. Sometimes your decluttering sessions will be quick and easy, and other times they will be hard and painful and time-consuming. That's just how it goes, so try to be patient and take things as they come. Do keep your end goal in mind. Maybe you want to create a space where it's easier for you to relax, or maybe all of the clutter in your home is cluttering up your mental space and you want to do something about that. Maybe you just want to spend less time cleaning, or maybe you want to sell off some things and make some extra cash. Whatever it is, and it can be more than one, try to identify it and keep it in mind. So how will a clutter-free home make your life better? Now that we're halfway in the video, I want to quickly thank today's sponsor for their support, Skillshare. They are an online learning community. I've used them myself for years now. And basically, if there's any skill that you want to learn, then you can do that on Skillshare. I've watched their classes on art, journaling, writing, business, freelancing, plant care, playing instruments, and a lot more. I love that the teachers are always so knowledgeable and passionate about what they're talking about. And there are many things that I'm able to do now that I wouldn't have learned if it wasn't for Skillshare. Maybe you'd like to learn how to sew your own clothing, in which case there are tons of classes to help you out. Like Denise Bayron's class, which is called Sewing Basics, where she teaches you everything you need to know to start making your own clothing. Skillshare is completely ad-free. They launch new classes every week, and they all come with subtitles in Spanish, Portuguese, French, and German. You can even try them for 1 month for free, because the first 1,000 people to click my link in the description box will get a 1 month free trial. So highly recommend checking them out. Big thanks to Skillshare, and let's get back to the video. Don't keep gifts out of guilt. I know getting rid of something that someone gave you can be really hard, but it just doesn't make sense to keep something in your home that you are not using, that you're not loving anymore, or getting any sense of value from just because it was a gift. So try to see if you can give it away to someone, or donate it, or do something to give it a second life. That really does help with the guilt part. But in the end, the item is now yours to do with as you please. And you can even declutter something the same day you got it if you want. Okay, so halfway through filming this video, I realized that you could probably see my mic all this time, so what are you gonna do? Do ask the right decluttering questions. Identify the obstacle, so the thing that is keeping you from making a decision, and then contemplate a scenario that is exactly the same but without that obstacle. So let's say that something was very expensive and you feel like you haven't gotten your money's worth yet, then try seeing how you feel if you bought the thing for really cheap, because eliminating the obstacle often makes it clearer what you want to do with it. Don't assume that you will get the same money back that you paid for it. Most things depreciate in value even if you've never used them. That's just how it goes. So if you have some valuable things to sell, then that is great, but don't expect that you will get the same amount of money back for them that you paid for them, and that's okay. Do share your decluttering journey with others. Or maybe join online groups to stay motivated and inspired. Maybe you could share some tips with each other. And it also helps if you could share with people what gifts you would or would not like to receive in the future going forward. Don't obsess about decluttering in certain stages of life. If now is just really not the time because you started a new job, or you moved across country, or you just had a baby, or you're taking care of a sick family member, whatever it is, then don't feel like you also have to take on the goal of decluttering your entire home. Try to be gentle with yourself and give it a little time. Do choose 2 or 3 purposes for every room in your home. And then make sure that the items in that room also align with those purposes. So let's say for the bedroom, you've identified rest or sleep as one purpose, and then maybe some canoodling with your significant other as the other purpose. Then having some old exercise equipment in there that no one ever uses doesn't really make sense because it's not aligned with any of those purposes. So try to see if you can look at it from that angle to really simplify your home and simplify your spaces. Don't keep holding on to things for other people. Maybe you have kids that have moved out and you're keeping some of their childhood things for them or something like that. See if you can invite people over, have them look through everything to see what they want to keep in their home. Do take your time to decide and try things on in the store. Don't buy things really quick because there's a much higher chance that you will come to regret it later. I've been there where it kind of feels like maybe the salesperson is rushing you to make a decision, and those kind of purchases often ended up being mistakes on my part that I ended up regretting later. So take your time, try things on, and only buy it if you're really sure that you actually like it. Is a great way to also keep your home clutter-free. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Sometimes having an outsider's opinion can be very helpful because they don't feel an attachment towards the thing, so they can help you to judge it more objectively. It's also just a lot of fun. You could also think about putting on some music or giving yourself a treat afterwards to make it more fun, like maybe some fresh flowers or something like that. Do unsubscribe from newsletters or social media accounts that only try to sell you stuff. If you find it hard to not buy a bunch of new things after decluttering, then this can really be very helpful, and it also goes for any social media accounts that you're following that just make you want to shop. Don't keep things around for your fantasy self. This means an idealized image of who you'd like to be, or who you think you're supposed to be, or who you would like others to perceive you as. So let's say that you have a bunch of baking stuff, but you just never bake, even though you would like to, but it's just not happening, then feel free to let them go. Do remember that our tastes change over time. Something that we used to love can become something that is just not doing anything for us anymore, and that's okay. You know, things change. We change, our tastes change, so don't feel like you have to hold on to everything, or that it's wasteful to switch things up every now and then. Don't go out and buy storage solutions before you're finished going through all of your items. You will be left with a bunch of bins and boxes and shelves and maybe even furniture that you don't end up needing. So declutter first and then see how you want to store everything. Do remember to take your time. The clutter in your home didn't get there in a week or a month. It's probably the result of years and years. So you cannot expect yourself to go through it all in a month. Now, I'm not saying that decluttering has to take years and years, but remember that it is okay to take your time and practice a little patience. Don't be afraid to say goodbye. Decluttering can be difficult because it means letting go and saying goodbye, and it's not just about the item, it's about what the item represents. So maybe old periods in your life, old interests or hobbies or relationships, memories that don't serve you anymore, or things you used to enjoy or that you wish you could still enjoy. And letting go of that and saying goodbye to that can be hard, but it also opens you up to new chapters in your life. I would love to hear from you one decluttering do and one decluttering don't that has been very helpful for you in your journey, so leave that in the description box. And if you enjoyed this video, then let me know by giving it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because these things really do help to support this channel and help this video also reach more people. Also, don't forget to check out Skillshare and get your free trial, link in the description box. Right here I have a video with the best purchases I've ever made as a minimalist. Right here is intentional living for beginners. As always, questions, comments, conversations down below. Thank you for being here. Have a lovely day, and I will see you again next week. Bye bye.